So he wants to fight Anthony Joshua in 2026.
And the haters online are like, yeah, do it.
Well, they're like, what
please
about
make that
now?
happen. Yeah.
They're like, what about fight him
now.
now? He's like, no, I want to wait till 2026. I'm like, okay.
Put on weight.
Put all the steroids, every steroid
What
thing.
I would watch. Here's the thing. I would
scorpion
watch
venom.
it.
And maybe if you could let me in on some of that, whatever, I don't know, the special stuff that you might be taking. I don't know. No.
I think it's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. Very dangerous. He's probably got one chance to try and counterpunch. And if he catches Joshua, he might do something, but I see that as a 100% win for Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua fired back at Jake Paul after fresh PED allegations surfaced, adding fuel to the controversy. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan speculated that Jake's delay in fighting Joshua until 2026, rather than 2025, could be a tactic to gain size and potentially use steroids. With questions swirling about his preparation and physical transformation, Jake's intentions remain under intense scrutiny.
That Dubois guy, though, holy man. The way he took out Anthony Joshua.
know.
Yeah, Jake wants to fight Anthony Joshua now?
I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's.
So he wants to fight Anthony Joshua in 2026.
And the
they're
haters online are like, yeah, do it.
Well, they're like, what
please
about
make that
now?
happen. Yeah.
They're like, what about fight him
now.
now? He's like, no, I want to wait till 2026. I'm like, okay.
Put on weight.
Put all the steroids, every steroid
What
they
do you-
have.
I would watch.
Snake
Here's the
venom,
thing. I would
scorpion
watch
venom.
it.
Oh, by the way,
Scorpion venom.
Rollo reached out to me, John Rollo, my boy, and he sells this blue scorpion. He wants to get you some, Jordan.
I'll have some.
All right, I'll have him send you some.
Get on
I'll
the
take,
Scorpion.
I'll take some
Quadruple
too.
doses, like
Yeah,
We'll
do
see what
it.
happens. I'm gonna start slow. I'm gonna find out if I get poisoned.
Yeah, just
What are we doing? Are we drinking venom from scorpions?
that is weird.
That's weird. He's got the dopest tattoo.
One of the hottest debates in boxing right now is whether Jake Paul is using performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs. Many fans and analysts have noted his rapid increase in size and speed, calling it unnatural. His dramatic body transformation in such a short time has raised suspicions, especially as he continues to take down professional fighters despite having only a few years of boxing experience.
And maybe if you could let me in on some of that, whatever, I don't know, the special stuff that you might be taking. I don't know.
This nigga looks like a hot pocket, bro. Everyone says he be doing type of PEDs, and I be in the crib.
Yeah, bro.
and
Like,
hell
no
nah.
way. Whatever stuff I'm taking ain't working, bro.
Actually, like, what do you think it is that about Jake that makes him say that he's on something? Like, what if it's just the fact that he's progressed so much in the sport?
Like, I don't know why I couldn't put any weight on, and you were able to put on, you said 230?
I can gain weight so
This is why Jake Paul is on PEDs. Within this past year, Jake Paul has literally hit a second puberty and aged like 10 years. Furthermore, he has acne and his hairline is receding like crazy. And people like Jake Paul are going to the best skin doctors in the world and probably are taking hair loss products that aren't even approved for the rest of us. Now, I'm not saying that Jake Paul necessarily took a steroid to make him look bigger, but he's definitely taking something that allows him to recover faster. That way he's able to train more and get better at boxing quickly.
Jake Paul isn't just setting his sights on Anthony Joshua. He's also called out former UFC champion Alex Pereira. This bold move has stunned the combat sports world, as Pereira is a devastating striker with serious knockout power. While Jake's confidence is undeniable, many believe he's biting off more than he can chew by challenging elite fighters at this level.
And maybe if you could let me in on some of that, whatever, I don't know, the special stuff that you might be taking. I don't know. No, I'm just messing with you.
This nigga looks like a hot pocket, bro. Everyone says he be doing type of PEDs, and I be in the crib.
yeah, bro.
and
Like,
hell
there's no
nah.
way. Whatever stuff I'm taking ain't working, bro.
He has a terrible build, bro. If he was taking shit.
Observers have noted significant changes in Jake Paul's appearance, including acne, signs of aging, and a drastic transformation in his physique. His previously undefined midsection has evolved into a sculpted, muscular frame in a short period, raising eyebrows. This rapid shift has fueled speculation that he may be using PEDs to gain an unfair edge in the ring.
All of Jake Paul's power is coming from those PEDs that he's injecting. He has all this acne. Oh, his chin grew, or he's all red. These are all signs.
I see all those allegations all the time, but I need to see the evidence.
Up until we're provided with evidence that he is taking PEDs, and I'm not going to accuse him of that.
Is there a possibility that he's taking PEDs? Of course there is. But you can't just see his body transformation and completely say with 100% certainty that he's taking PED.
Boxing fans are questioning how Jake Paul has managed to defeat professional fighters with only 4 years of training. Traditionally, boxers spend a lifetime honing their skills before reaching the elite level. While some attribute Jake's rapid improvement to relentless hard work, others suspect that something unnatural might be giving him an extra edge in the ring.
Over it.
Those little bumps you had on your face kind of alarmed me. You wouldn't be having to taking PEDs, are you?
Listen, if you want to build in excuses right now,
No, I'm just
go
asking.
ahead.
Because I was just wondering. I
Go
looked at
ahead.
your face, you look kind of serious. You had some rage and you acting all unorthodox. You know, those are signs of the PEDs.
I'm enraged. I'm not enraged at all.
Are you taking PEDs?
No, sir.
Not at all. Okay.
No, sir.
That's
you think
what
he's
I
on
feel like.
PEDs?
I don't care. You better.
Jake Paul has addressed the PED allegations head-on in a recent interview, acknowledging that many suspect he's using steroids, but calling the rumors bizarre. He maintains that his transformation is purely the result of hard work, proper nutrition, and intense training. However, skepticism lingers, especially among boxing purists who continue to question the legitimacy of his rapid rise in the sport.
Once I'm slightly older, I'm basically going to drink tequila and intermittent fast.
What's Jake Paul gonna look like after his boxing career?
People think I do steroids and all this shit, so I have a plan because I think it's bizarre. That's like the only excuse they can come up with is like rigged fights. Jake Paul does steroids. So after boxing, I'm going to do a cycle of steroids to show people what Jake Paul on steroids actually looks like, because I want to shut people the up.
Sports analyst Simon Jordan has weighed in on Jake Paul's boxing journey, calling it both unusual and somewhat unrealistic. He argues that transitioning from a YouTuber to challenging legends like Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez doesn't sit well with the traditional boxing community. While Jake has undeniably brought entertainment to the sport, many believe he hasn't truly earned the right to step in the ring with elite-level fighters.
As a boxing purist, it doesn't sit well, but as a normal working class lad, I've been asked by builders, would you fight Jake Paul for £5 million? I never got £5 million for fighting anyone else in a fight, so it's the silliest question in the world. I've been retired 7 years. I'm still very confident. If you give me 3 weeks to get off the couch, I'll probably still beat him with one hand. It's not. Yeah. He's not a good fighter, so it's not even being disrespectful to him as a YouTuber, as a presenter in what he does. He blows me out the water. That's his line of work. But you're stepping into boxing, another profession. Now to call Alexa Canelo out, I think is disrespectful. To call Anthony Joshua out is lunacy. But we know why it's happening and why he does it.
Forget Jake Paul. Forget Jake Paul. Paul. I mean, Jake Paul's going to do what Jake Paul does, but Anthony Joshua, and with respect to you and what you did and didn't earn in your career, Anthony Joshua is out at King's Ransom. Yeah. So he doesn't need to be fiddle with this, does he?
No, he doesn't. But again, all I keep seeing from people out there is, when is enough enough? And I get that. But when you're retired at 33, 34, and you've got to make that last now, you've got more experience than me in this, dealing with a lot of footballers in the past as well, and business people who have to make a certain amount of budget last. It's the easiest money you'll probably ever.
Tommy Fury, who previously handed Jake Paul his first boxing defeat, has weighed in on Paul's latest ambitions. Fury revealed that he fought Jake with a broken hand and still secured the win, casting doubt on Jake's ability to take on elite competition. Now, with Paul calling out Anthony Joshua, a vastly more experienced and powerful fighter, Fury suggests this may be more about publicity than a legitimate challenge.
Just wanted to give a little opinion on everything I've been seeing on social media lately. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Just wanted to come in here and remind everybody that bum couldn't beat me when I basically had a broken hand. I had one hand and he still lost. Jake Paul, I'm still your daddy, and everybody weighing this fight up, don't bother, because he ain't worth a shilling. And the loss will always be there, Mr. Paul. Take it easy and have a good day.
Gareth A. Davies has weighed in on the potential fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, emphasizing the massive payday Jake could secure. possibly around $50 million. He also highlights the stark size and power difference, with Joshua standing at 6 feet 7 inches and significantly outweighing the 6 feet 2 inches Paul. This matchup, if it happens, would be a true test of whether Jake can handle elite-level heavyweight competition.
I'm not sure Anthony Joshua's going to play the game like everyone else. And it could be fairly calamitous, I think, if Joshua stepped into a ring with Jake Paul. But we're going to watch it because we want to see Jake Paul get knocked the F out. We do. Everyone wants to see it. I mean, I've even said it to him. I was looking forward to Mike Tyson him knocking the fuck out. Doesn't surprise me. He's looking for the biggest names out there, and it just shows that he's prepared to put himself on the line to promote himself.
Would it be more competitive than the Ngannou fight, in your opinion, or less?
That's a very good analogy. It's a very good comparison. Much less competitive. I mean, I think it's got to be at that level of exhibition bout. I think it's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. Very dangerous. He's probably got one chance to try and counterpunch. And if he catches Joshua, he might do something, but I see that as a 100% win for Anthony Joshua.
Gareth A. Davies underscores Anthony Joshua's devastating knockout power, likening it to a plumbing mule kick. While he acknowledges Joshua's past struggles against highly skilled opponents, he believes the fight would still generate massive interest and be a spectacle for fans. Despite helping deliver some of the biggest paydays in boxing, Jake Paul has also drawn criticism for his disrespect toward boxing legends, further fueling controversy around his rise in the sport.
I want to fight Anthony Joshua, exclusive, because I know that I will.
I'm so sorry for my English, but I have to. See, Jake Paul does lots of good things. He has a camp for kids where he, I guess, gives training and coaching and gloves and environment for kids in Puerto Rico. He helped lots of boxers to get the bigger purse than they deserve. He has done some good things. But, and you are kind of trying to be on his side, but then he said something like that. Like, you almost are on his side, and then he says, I want to fight Anthony Joshua and Canelo at the same night, or whatever. Jake, fighting Anthony Joshua and Canelo is not fighting Tyron Woodley or 60 years old Mike Tyson with Alzheimer's. Anthony Joshua is able to literally kill you. No doubt. If his mission is to kill you on the ring, he will kill you. You lost against Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury won against you. What Anthony Joshua? What Canelo, my friend? Canelo, you would need the liver replacement after Canelo fight. I promise you. I don't know. So stop doing that shit. Do the good things you are doing, and we'll be on your side. Just stop saying crazy shit like this.
Jake Paul frequently uses trash talk and social media callouts to provoke fighters, including Anthony Joshua. While this tactic generates hype and sells fights, it has raised concerns among many boxing fans about whether Paul truly respects the sport. In stark contrast, Anthony Joshua has faced some of the best boxers in history. One of his toughest challenges came against Alexander Usyk, who is regarded as one of the most technically gifted fighters in the world. Usyk defeated Joshua twice, demonstrating that even elite-level heavyweights can struggle against world-class competition. This only adds to the doubts surrounding Jake Paul's chances against someone of Joshua's caliber.
Once the belts were finally out of my possession, which I was expecting to win, it just kind of tore me apart. And that's raw emotion live on your screen. Obviously, looking back, could I have dealt with things better? Yeah, of course. But at the time, that wasn't the priority. It was just outpour of emotion.
There are so many athletes we're seeing across gymnastics, cricket, rugby and football that have taken time out of their sport to deal with their mental health before coming back in. Did you at any point in that period think, I need to take an extended break away from boxing before coming back in?
It wasn't the fact I needed to take a break. You know what it was? I actually watched a lot of like fighters, they've taken time out of the game for those reasons as well. And I think, okay, if they've done it, I should be doing it. But I got to look at myself as an individual. And what it is, I feel like if I take time out, I'm letting everyone catch up. And I want to be ahead of the game.
One of the biggest criticisms of Jake Paul's call out of Anthony Joshua is that he already lost to Tommy Fury, who is still relatively inexperienced in professional boxing. If Jake struggled against Fury, many question how he expects to compete with a world-class fighter like Joshua. This has led a number of fans and analysts to believe that Jake's challenge is more about grabbing attention and creating spectacle than a genuine attempt to face elite competition.
You have got to be taking the mick. Jake Paul has called out Anthony Joshua and claims, I will fucking beat Anthony Joshua's ass. You know what? I want this to happen just so Anthony Joshua can just absolutely decimate this man right here. So first he fights Tommy Fury, a legitimate professional boxer, and he loses. Then he fights an OAP in Mike Tyson and beats him. Obviously, he's nearly 60 years old. Then he goes to try and fight Canelo, which fell through, thankfully. Then he tried to fight Tank Davis, which again fell through. And now he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, a legit world-level heavyweight boxer. Anthony Joshua is someone that I've always looked up to and probably one of my favourite boxers to this day and age. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind Jake Paul here and there, but there's just things he does in the sport that I don't agree with at all. And fighting Anthony Joshua, listen, I'm all here for it, just to see him get knocked clean out. The fact that he thinks he can compete with these high-level boxers, even though he lost to Tommy Fury, is just laughable. But how long does it take for Anthony Joshua to knock Jake Paul out? I'm saying 5 seconds.
Jake Paul's ambitions extend beyond boxing, as he has also expressed interest in fighting UFC superstar Conor McGregor. Paul believes that while his own boxing skills are improving, McGregor is on the decline due to age and inactivity. By targeting McGregor, Jake continues his strategy of calling out high-profile names to gain more exposure in the world of combat sports.
You think McGregor's done?
I think he has to come back and fight, but he needs to win.
Will he fight you?
I don't think he will. I think my skill level is outgrowing his in boxing, and I have the height advantage. He can't beat me, and I think he probably knows that. And time, he's only getting older, and I'm only getting better.
Jake Paul has also mentioned the possibility of fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, who recently faced Lamont Roach and is now looking for new challenges. However, there's a significant issue with the weight class difference. Jake competes at a much heavier weight than Davis, who is a lightweight. If this fight were to happen, Jake would need to drop a considerable amount of weight, which could affect his future bouts, including a potential showdown with Anthony Joshua in 2026. Joe Rogan has weighed in on the situation, suggesting that Jake may be looking for more time before facing Joshua. Rogan speculates that Jake might want to bulk up and possibly use steroids to prepare, explaining his decision to fight Joshua in 2026 instead of 2025.
So a Tank Davis versus Jake Paul exhibition match was going to take place after the Lamont Roach fight, until Tank drew with Roach, leading to a rematch. Now, I'm going to say the unpopular opinion here, but the size difference would have been way too much. I mean, even if Tank brought Jake down to 190 or 200 pounds, he would have still been way too big. I mean, no matter how good a lightweight is, they would have almost no chance against a cruiserweight or heavyweight ranked top 200 in his division. And I'm sure people are going to bring up Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, but Logan is just not a good boxer relative to Jake. You know, Jake's been training for a couple years, he's had over 10 pro fights, and Mayweather was also a junior middleweight in this fight, not a lightweight like Tank. But that being said, I'm glad Tank and Jake isn't happening. You know, it would have been a fun spectacle, but I'm not the biggest fan of the exhibition stuff. And instead now Tank and Roach will be rematching in June. You know, the first fight did a little over 260,000 pay-per-view buys, which isn't bad in this market. Roach absolutely deserves a second fight, so I do think the rematch will do far more numbers. And as for Jake, I want to see him fight big-name boxers around his weight class. You know, the Tommy Fury rematch, for example, he's undefeated. The first fight did a little over 800,000 pay-per-view buys. He's around the same age range, so that's the fight I want to see, not the exhibitions. But let me know what you guys think.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more, and until next time.